So I'm here in Japan at a temple called Shounji in Hiro, which is in Tokyo, and really nice day today, and it's one of my favorite temples. What I want to share with you is a few stories that made the house what it is today. Sometimes I get questions on why can't we do this or why can't we do that, and a lot of times just because of the background, the experience, and how things just won't work the way that we think, although I do appreciate people's ideas. So let me just share a few things with you here so that you can understand what works, what doesn't work, and that also gives you the reason for why things are the way they are. So one example is I had a person come in and she wanted to put a big screen TV in the living room with the rule that no one can use the big screen TV. Her reasoning was, well, I'm the first one, so I should have that right. And if anybody else wants to put a big screen TV on the wall, there's 3 other walls. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of things, sometimes they don't. Well, let me share with you one more thing that maybe kind of makes sense. I had a tenant ask me, why don't you have one person be the house manager, and that person could have a reduction in rent and manage the house for you. Well, the problem with that is that person kind of becomes the police of the house and resentment builds. Not only that, since I am under market rate, to me, everyone should have managerial perspective on living in the house. So basically everyone is a house manager. Another example I had was we had some bugs in the house, which was a result of someone not being very clean. And then that person reported me to the city in order to, sorry, there's a car coming, in order to clean things up. Well, what happened was I went forward to get things cleaned up, and now this person didn't want to cooperate with the procedures with the procedures that were from the city. So it was kind of like she was saying, you know, clean it up, but at the same time contributing to the problem. So when we do go to the city and we do get solutions, everyone has to be on the ball to make sure that things go back to functioning the way that they should. Another person came to me and said, hey, you know, the rules are saying, the city law saying you have to clean the shared spaces. Okay, well, if I came in to clean the kitchen and clean the living room because I'm responsible for shared spaces, then I'm always at the house, which means people don't want to see me there, and I don't want to be there. But she was basically referring to the rules that apply for when you rent the entire house or when you're renting your own apartment. There are no rules stated that apply to shared housing, although existing rules will be interpreted to meet the situation of the shared housing environment. So for this reason, I created the renter's guide and videos like this to make things as clear as possible. Another person told me once that he had to pay for Christmas gifts, so was going to be late on rent. I hope you're not laughing too much now, but you know, got to pay the rent. I got to pay my bills, and I want to make some adjustments to the house to make it better. And of course, this is a business, so I have to make some profit. Another person asked me, hey, why don't you use the money from your profit to do cleaning? Again, I'm under market rate. The people who come in, they see that there's a cleaning schedule. If you can't follow that, then the house isn't for you. If you can, then please come in and let's have a nice house flow where you're paying under market rate. I'm doing the things that I want to do, for example, being in Japan and doing business, and everyone wins. Another example of a case I had was people were leaving. Yeah, there's a noise again. People were leaving food under their beds, unwrapped food in the fridge, which is affecting other people, so forth and so on. So these are just a few of the reasons the house is the way it is, and the reason why I like to have a clear house flow, so when people come in, they understand in advance what they're getting themselves into, in a good way. Another person came to me once and said, hey, you know what, I don't agree to this clause and this clause. Please, before you sign the contract, let me know if you agree or don't agree. The only thing that's negotiable in the contract is the date of move-in. And if you wanted to have a little bit of flexibility to pay the first month's rent and the deposit, I have some flexibility on that. But since I do want to treat everybody equal, it is important that you understand what you're signing, and if you don't agree to things, then there's not a fit, and it's better to not join the household. One thing I do want to stress is the importance of being proactive in the house. Sometimes I have people who want to see the house, or I have someone come and make improvements to the house, and I may not be able to be there. But if you're home, please be available to open the door. It takes about 10 minutes to show a room and some shared spaces. If someone's cleaning or wanting to fix plumbing, because we have a plumbing issue, that means that your life becomes more comfortable sooner than having to wait for me a couple days or whatever to be there to fix the problem. So again, looking for proactive people who take the initiative that they would have taken if they had their own place. But since we're in shared house, if everyone can take a little bit, then things run much more smooth. And I stress again, under market rate, you get that financial benefit, I get my freedom to do things I want to do and travel the world and do international business. The current situation is the coronavirus. I am now Director of International Business Development for MetaMasks, and my goal is to go around and create the business, not to babysit. So please take a look at the renter's guide, understand the contract, see these videos once or twice, and welcome to Casa de Vida, Mi Casita, and potentially another house here in the near future. Thank you.